I want to shout out Miss, what is it, Winsome Sears, you know, breaking down barriers and showing that, yeah, we have come a long way. Now, what are we going to do with this opportunity? And I hope, Miss Joy Reid, I hope you accept her challenge, because I would love to hear a debate between somebody that only pushes one thing compared to somebody who pushes, that you can do this. I would love to hear that. So, Miss Winsome Sears, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Salute to you, ma'am. I hope you go up there and do a bang up job and go up there and do everything you need to do, because we are at a pivotal point right now in America where we are telling black boys and black girls that somehow that white people's thoughts back then are right and in present now, and that you're not good enough. You can't do it here in America. And that's bullshit. That is bullshit. And I think that's why I'm being attacked so much. We have so many so-called smart people that the only thing that they do is attach you to somebody that they don't like. And that's all you need to get the low vibration. They look at you as low vibration. That's all they need to get the low vibration people to follow suit. They talk to your pastors, they talk to your leaders, the people you look up to, and get them to tell your low vibration ass what to do. You don't know what you mad at. You don't know why you mad. You just know he's connected to that person that everybody else don't like. And that's what I've been saying since day one. It's all about who you like. And it's not even about who you like. It's who they tell you not to like. You love Donald Trump until they told you not to. You love everybody. You love the baby. You were playing his music until they told you not to. You love everybody until Zaddy tell you not to. Who is Zaddy? The media.
Dr. Rochelle Walensky, one of the experts. Let's listen to what the fuck she had to say.
We're vaccinating so very fast. Our data from the CDC today suggests, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real world data. We're vaccinating so very.
So, whoops. And then she corrected herself, and she states what we know now is that it does not stop transmission, effectively nullifying everything that she said in that video that I just showed you, right? They sold it on this idea with the purpose of a lot of mandates and that are still being passed to this day, that you couldn't spread it in the event that you got it. There's also another guy, which my man's Lyndon pointed out, who is the president of the motherfucking United States now. Let's listen to what he said as well on our way out of here about COVID.
The various shots that people are getting now cover that. You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Yeah. Let me point something out, Joe Biden. It is your fault why the American people are paying more at the gas pump. In his very first day, this is the only president that signed 42 executive orders in his very first day. And he continued to sign executive orders after that, all aimed at destroying this country. None of those executive orders made this country great. None of those executive orders did anything good for the American people, but put us in the crapper. Let's not forget your inflation. Let's not forget about the tax hike you're trying to pass on to me for your new Green Deal or your new infrastructure plan. Oh no, Tyrone, they're going to tax the wealthy. That's a load of BS, Patriots, because let me tell you something. They always say that, but if you notice, they always pass on those tax hikes to the middle class Americans. Real talk, and that's a fact. We end up bearing majority of the load. So, hey, Joe Biden, what happened to our constitutional rights? The First Amendment right, our freedom of speech, freedom of religion, our pursuit of happiness. What happened? So,
I am not passing. I am black. Do you hear me, man? Do you understand?
I'm going to tell you right now. I lived in the Bay Area for many years. Colin Kaepernick ain't shit. He didn't do shit for the 49ers. He didn't do shit for the city. He didn't do shit in Oakland. And yet Nike wants to pay him $60 million just for a photo shoot. He had another shot 2 years ago to get back into the NFL. Then he decided to switch it up on all the recruiters and take his practice location 45 minutes away. Now, does this sound like a man who wants to work? Does this sound like a man who's putting in any effort into his career? And for all you dumb, you do know his parents are white, correct?
When everything was happening last year, people were saying, oh, you're just repeating the same Trump rhetoric. But what I tried to keep telling you was that they were associating conservatism and conservative views and conservative morals, which, by the way, 75%, if not 80% of the people in America have those views. So they were combining the conservative views with Trump, and then every time somebody said something about freedom, family, freedom of speech, less taxes, owning businesses, oh, you're such a Trumper. And it's like, no, honey, that's not, it has nothing to do, you could have, can't do it anymore, but you could have been a Democrat and had those same values. I can pretty much put some money on anybody over 35. And you ask them, you say, what are your values? They'll say, well, family, I want to own my own business, I want education. I mean, those are conservative views. Has nothing to do with Trump.
Why is the mayor of one of the most violent cities in the country, who declared racism was a public health hazard, but you have time to go to the Mickey D's headquarters? I imagine they were talking about the violence in Chicago, because that's what Chicago does, America's shooting range. He was talking specifically about that kid, Adam Toledo, little Diablo, who was out 2 o'clock in the morning, 13 years old, with a gun, pulling it out when the police were there. Or he was turning around and he had the gun in his hand. He got shot. That's the kid that Lori Lightweight cried about. Fast forward a couple months or so, this little 7-year-old girl was assassinated because of her sorry-ass parents in a McDonald's drive-thru. The little 7-year-old girl, think for a second how small a 7-year-old girl is. She was shot 6 times in her chest while she sat in the back seat with her sorry-ass daddy. So what he did was he sent her a text message and said, those parents failed those kids. So they're out there fighting for that, pissed off at him because he's racist. Here's my question. Why aren't you out there protesting because it's McDonald's? Because it's shit food. They're on every corner in your neighborhood. Why don't you protest them for that? I'm just saying. But they're out there protesting for that, and they say victim shaming has to stop. Him saying that those parents failed their kids, which they did, so the CEO of McDonald's was right. But when you talk about people negatively, or you judge somebody negatively, and they're too low on the color chart, they're below the midline, you're automatically racist. So now, any criticism whatsoever of anybody who's darker than a sheet of paper is racism. Bullshit. Here's where he did mess up. He apologized. Of course, I was insensitive. I was looking at it through the prism of a parent, which you should. And I didn't take into account their situation. I've never walked in their shoes. You bitch. You need to be called, they need to have a new hamburger called the McBitch, because that's what you are for apologizing to these idiots.
Now we're seeing America. It's not just Trump supporters. It's not just Republicans. It's not just conservatives. People all over America are sick of Joe Biden. And so that's why all these chants are breaking out. And so now all these liberals are upset on Twitter. The same liberals that said all kind of evil things about Trump. There's a lot of payback going on right now. It's payback for stupidity. It's payback for voting for somebody based on emotion, for ignoring a good president that works for everybody, and you hated him simply because the media told a bunch of lies about him and said he was a racist. And whenever I hear people still on Twitter trying to defend Biden, well, Trump this, and I always ask them, which one of Trump's policies negatively affected you? Crickets. I never hear anything. We're glad we got rid of Trump. He's better than